What's up everybody, it's your guy Name and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing something a little different, alright? We're ditching the concrete jungle and diving headfirst into the heart of Cambodia. And listen, when I say heart, I mean it. We're talking about the lifeblood, the veins, the arteries, the freshwater wonders that make this country pulse with so much life. We're talking serene lakes, majestic waterfalls, hidden oases, the whole 9 yards. I'm talking about the kind of beauty that makes you want to chuck your phone in the nearest body of water. Don't actually do that. Disconnect and just be. This isn't just a trip, it's an adventure. We're talking about 5 incredible destinations, each one more awe-inspiring than the last. So buckle up, smash that like button for the algorithm, and let's get this show on the road. Alright, first up we're hitting up a place that's basically the heart of Cambodia, literally and figuratively. I'm talking about Tonle Sap Lake, the largest freshwater lake in all of Southeast Asia. This place is massive, like seriously huge, and it's teeming with life. We're not just talking about fish here, people. We're talking an entire ecosystem that thrives on this lake. Think vibrant floating villages, bustling markets, kids splashing in the water, fishermen casting their nets at dawn. It's a whole vibe, and trust me, you can feel the energy the second you arrive. We hopped on a rickety old boat, the kind with more character than a Scorsese film, and set off into this vast expanse of water. The sun was just starting to peek over the horizon, painting the sky in these crazy hues of orange and pink. It was like something out of a dream, only this was real life, and it was happening right before our eyes. As we glided through the water, we passed by these incredible floating houses, some small and humble, others surprisingly large and elaborate. It's a whole community living on the water, and they've got everything from schools and shops to temples and even basketball courts, all bobbing along with the current. The people here are incredibly welcoming, their smiles as warm as the Cambodian sun. We had the chance to share a meal with a local family in their floating home, and let me tell you, the hospitality was off the charts. They served us this delicious fish amok, a traditional Cambodian dish, and it was bursting with flavor. But the real magic of Tonle Sap Lake lies in its natural beauty. The way the sunlight dances on the water, the lush greenery that lines the shores, the sound of birdsong filling the air. It's enough to make you forget all about the hustle and bustle of everyday life. This place is a photographer's dream, a nature lover's paradise, and a cultural immersion like no other. If you're ever in Cambodia, Tonle Sap Lake is an absolute must-visit. Trust me on this one, you won't regret it. Next up, we're ditching the serenity of the lake and cranking up the adventure dial. We're headed to Kulen Mountain, home to the breathtaking Kulen Mountain waterfall. Now this isn't just any waterfall, alright? This is a place steeped in history and legend, a place where nature and spirituality collide. The hike up to the waterfall is an adventure in itself. We're talking dense jungle, winding trails, and the occasional monkey swinging through the trees. It's hot, it's humid, and it's totally worth it. As we got closer, we could hear the roar of the waterfall getting louder and louder. The anticipation was killing us. And then, we turned a corner, and there it was. A cascade of water plummeting down a sheer rock face, mist rising up to meet us. It was like something out of an Indiana Jones movie, minus the giant rolling boulder. Now this waterfall isn't just a pretty face, it's also a sacred site for locals, who believe the water has healing powers. We saw people bathing in the cool, clear water, offering prayers, and soaking it all in. We couldn't resist taking a dip ourselves. The water was cold, shockingly so, but it was also incredibly refreshing. It felt like all the stress and grime of everyday life was just washing away. Surrounded by the lush jungle, the sound of the waterfall echoing through the air, we couldn't help but feel a sense of peace and tranquility. It was like this place had a way of cleansing not just your body, but your soul too. Whether you're a thrill seeker, a history buff, or just looking for a place to reconnect with nature, Kulen Mountain Waterfall is an experience you won't soon forget. Alright guys, picture this. You're trekking through the Cambodian jungle, sweat dripping down your face, when suddenly you stumble upon a hidden oasis. A pristine lake ringed by lush greenery reflecting the azure sky like a giant sapphire. That's Yek Leom Lake, our next stop, and let me tell you, it's even more magical in person. This place is a volcanic crater lake formed thousands of years ago, and it's like stepping back in time. The water is crystal clear, so clear you can see straight to the bottom, and it's surrounded by this dense, almost prehistoric-looking forest. We're talking giant trees with roots that snake across the ground, colorful birds flitting through the branches, and the air thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. It's the kind of place that makes you want to ditch your shoes and socks and just feel the earth beneath your feet, and that's exactly what we did. We spent the afternoon swimming in the cool, refreshing water, soaking up the sun on the sandy banks, and just enjoying the peace and quiet. It was the perfect antidote to the hustle and bustle of the city. For those feeling a little more adventurous, there's a trail that circles the lake, offering stunning views of the surrounding jungle. We hiked it, of course, and it was like stepping into a different world. We're talking towering trees that blocked out the sun, creating this almost mystical atmosphere. The sound of cicadas buzzing in the air, and the occasional monkey peering down at us from the canopy. It was like we were the only people on Earth. Lake is more than just a pretty spot for a swim. It's a place of tranquility, a sanctuary for nature, and a reminder of the raw, untamed beauty that still exists in this world. If you're looking for a place to escape, to reconnect with yourself and with nature, this is it. Alright guys, we're switching gears again and hopping aboard a boat, but this time, we're talking about a river that needs no introduction, the mighty Mekong. This river is a legend, the lifeblood of Southeast Asia, flowing through 6 countries and carving a path through history. We're talking about a river that's seen it all, from ancient empires to modern cities, and it's still going strong. And let me tell you, there's something truly special about experiencing this river in Cambodia. We hopped on a longtail boat, the kind you see in all the movies, and set off into the heart of the Mekong Delta. The air was thick with humidity, the sun beat down on our backs, and the sound of the boat's engine mixed with the calls of exotic birds. As we cruised along, we passed by floating markets, bustling villages and temples that seemed to rise out of the water itself. We saw fishermen casting their nets, children splashing in the shallows, and water buffalo cooling off in the muddy banks. It was like stepping back in time, a glimpse into a way of life that's remained largely unchanged for centuries. But the Mekong isn't just about the past, it's also a vital lifeline for the people who live along its banks, providing food, transportation, and a sense of community. And as we journeyed downriver, we saw firsthand the resilience and spirit of the Cambodian people. We visited a floating village where life revolves around the river. We saw homes built on stilts, kids paddling to school in small canoes, and families gathering for meals on their porches, the river flowing beneath their feet. It was a humbling experience, a reminder that happiness can be found in the simplest of things. And then, there's the wildlife. The Mekong is home to a staggering array of creatures, from giant catfish to freshwater dolphins. We were lucky enough to spot a group of Irrawaddy dolphins, their sleek bodies arcing through the water. It was a magical moment, a reminder of the incredible biodiversity that this river supports. Alright guys, for our final adventure, we're venturing off the beaten path, leaving the tourist traps behind and heading to a place that's a true hidden gem, Cabalche Waterfall. This place is a local secret, a place where you can escape the crowds and reconnect with nature. We're talking about a series of cascading waterfalls, tumbling down moss-covered rocks, surrounded by dense jungle. The air is thick with the sound of rushing water and the calls of exotic birds. It's the kind of place that makes you want to take a deep breath and just soak it all in. Now, getting to Cabalche Waterfall is an adventure in itself. We're talking bumpy dirt roads, rickety bridges, and the occasional water buffalo blocking the path. But trust me, it's worth every bump and wrong turn. As we got closer, we could hear the roar of the waterfall getting louder and louder. The anticipation was killing us. And then, we turned a corner, and there it was. A cascade of water plummeting down a sheer rock face, mist rising up to meet us. It was like something out of an Indiana Jones movie, minus the giant rolling boulder. Now, this waterfall isn't just a pretty face, it's also a vital source of water for the surrounding villages, and we saw locals washing clothes, bathing in the cool water, and collecting water for their homes. We couldn't resist taking a dip ourselves. The water was cold, shockingly so, but it was also incredibly refreshing. It felt like all the stress and grime of everyday life was just washing away. We spent the rest of the day exploring the surrounding jungle, discovering hidden pools, and just enjoying the peace and quiet. It was the perfect way to end our Cambodian adventure. And that's a wrap on our Cambodian freshwater adventure. From the bustling, floating villages of Tonle Sap Lake, to the hidden oasis of Lake, and the thundering power of Cabalche Waterfall, this journey has been nothing short of epic. We've explored ancient temples, navigated bustling markets, hiked through dense jungles, and even come face to face with some of Cambodia's most incredible wildlife. We've experienced the warmth of the Cambodian people, tasted the flavors of their cuisine, and witnessed the beauty of their culture. So, if you're looking for an adventure that's off the beaten path, a journey that will challenge and inspire you, look no further than Cambodia. Trust me, it's a trip you won't soon forget. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel adventures. See you next time.